Georgia giving up just 71 points to their opponents in SEC play. A&M at 70.6. Both those top 5 numbers in the Southeastern Conference. Offensive rebounding will be a huge part of this one tonight. Texas A&M, the best in the country, grabbing their misses.
They don't mind bad shots because they know they can chase them. Put them back in.
We are underway, and Wade Taylor the force with the basketball.
And here's the matchup. Silas Demery is going to have to stay on Wade Taylor. Cannot give him much space to get him off to a good start.
Terrell Payne backing his way into the paint, drawing an offensive foul for Georgia's R.J. Godfrey. Already a couple of big boys going at it.
Well, we've seen Godfrey play. He's a terrific athlete, solid defender. Smart play, and then he took the first bump, and then he established himself for that second bump.
Blue Kane, Silas Demery, R.J. Godfrey, Dylan James in the starting lineup tonight, and then the sensational freshman, Asa Newell. As Georgia gets on the board first behind Godfrey's little jump hook.
Handled the semi-pressure easily. And really, Dylan James made that play because he got the ball baseline.
Here's Payne. Trying to get it to Phelps. Defended by Blue Kane. Nice pass underneath. Ball faked by Coleman, and he lays it in.
Phelps, so good off the dribble, so good off the bounce. We've seen some special games he's played shooting the ball.
There's a turnover after the pressure by A&M. Taylor.
We've seen Georgia a couple ball games. Mike White talks to us every time about turnovers.
Well, that was going to be a travel.
Yep.
Instead, it's just a turnover to Blue Kane. And Demery stays hot, knocking home the 3.
He made a couple threes down in the stretch of that game in the loss against Mississippi State. If he shoots the ball well as he continues to grow as a player, could be a special guard out front.
Obaseki to the corner, in and out for Zurich Phelps, who shoots threes at a 28% clip. Demery working on Taylor. Doubled on that baseline now as Payne helps out. Nowhere to go. Kicks it out to Newell. A little too strong. Rebound into the hands of Phelps. Texas A&M at 18-5, 7-3 in the league. Oh, Obaseki, nice little stutter step. Drew the foul, and we'll head to the free throw line. Buzz Williams. Now in his 6th year here at Texas A&M, a 2-time SEC Coach of the Year. School record 6 wins over AP top 25 teams this year, trying to make it 3 straight trips to the NCAA tournament. Feels like this group is certainly capable of doing some damage.
Yeah, he's very comfortable with his team. You can tell when he coaches on the sideline.
Obaseki knocks that one home.
The only thing he doesn't trust is a free throw line.
There's Mike White, 3-time conference coach of the year. Of course, a couple of those were at Louisiana Tech before he found his way to Florida and then eventually to Athens. And boy, his team fought and fought against Mississippi State and just came up a possession short. They were down 8 at the half against the Bulldogs, tied it up 5 times in the second half, and could never get the lead.
And I think he has built a team. I look at this Georgia team as though I'm looking at Texas A&M a couple of years ago. They're young like A&M now as older guys. They've had some good wins. They've got a chance to be in the NCAA tournament, much like the Aggies got to the tournament 2 years ago. Very similar styles. They're physical around the rim, and they have improved unbelievably well in the last 3 years on the defensive end.
Here's Asa Newell. 4 on the shot clock. Blue Kane's going to have to get the ball airborne. He does so. A little too strong. And there's Newell battling Coleman underneath. Tie up. Arrow will favor Georgia. Asa Newell just named SEC Freshman of the Week for the 4th time this year.
He's got a comfortable game. If he catches it around 8 to 10 feet, going to get to that left hand. He's left-handed. Get off that right shoulder. He's automatic. He's improved. He had 3 threes in the loss against Mississippi State. Not his strength out there, but he can pick and pop and make a 3.
Demery, little step back, short, batted around right into the hands of Payne.
Dave, if you sit on the ball and sit on the dribble, A&M defense eats you alive. You've got to pass it, you got to move it, make the defense shift at least a little bit.
Payne diving for it, keeps it alive. Phelps will set up the offensive set. Phelps averaging 14.7 points a game, 19th in the conference. Obaseki, short, rebound, Newell.
And Manny will not give it up much. When he's got on the bounce, he's pretty much going to look to shoot it.
Here's Dylan James. Now Godfrey, the Clemson transfer, kicks it back out.
That's a good find off the double team.
Too strong and picked up there by Phelps. Oh, nice crossover by Phelps, but runs right into Newell. Into Payne. Boy, Godfrey and Payne have been battling since we tipped this one off. Loose ball out of bounds. Timeout on the floor. Georgia by one early here in Bryan College Station. We speak, and you know, this is such an unbelievable league. And even with South Carolina, we've had them a couple times, but they have played their tails off and have been in these games, many of them, and had opportunities to win the last couple of minutes and haven't been able to do it. And they're 0-10 in the league.
Yeah, had opportunities to win. And if you get back, they beat Clemson back in December.
Yep.
And that's really what put an exclamation point about how good the SEC is.
Here's Demery.
Solomon Washington, one of the best defenders in all of the SEC. Can guard 1 through 5.
Kane fires. Surreal keeps it alive, and it's going to stay with Georgia.
I kind of sometimes wish the referee would have a mic and say, well, I could either give them the ball or give Hank Coleman a foul.
Right. You pick. You pick. Demery. Boy, he's firing away from behind the arc, just coming up a little bit short. Out to Coleman. He chases it down, saves it to Demery.
4 turnovers early for A&M.
Dylan James.
And Georgia has to take advantage when you're on the road, the home team's not playing well early. Got to make some shots, build some kind of lead.
That's what Mike White told us. And looks like James stepped on that sideline, but Mike White told us today at shoot-around that they got to make some three-pointers today. It's going to be hard to score around the rim against them.
Yeah, he understands how Buzz Williams' teams plays. They're going to shut down the middle. They're going to double team when you get it to the paint. They're going to collapse. They're going to call their monster. You've got to move the basketball. Shooters have to make shots. Slow start, though, for Georgia.
Georgia 1 out of 5 from behind the arc. 5 of their 8 shots are three-point attempts. Phelps. That shot knocked home by Solomon Washington, just his 8th three-pointer of the year.
They should have the light system going on and off here, like bonus points. Does not shoot it that well outside, but confident enough to take one.
22% for Washington, gets that one to go, and Blue Kane knew that was going to rip the net the moment it left his hands.
I almost wonder if Blue Kane thinks, okay, with Dakota LeFew out, Tyron Lawrence out, he's got to be a little more aggressive, at least search for some jump shots because he is a good shooter.
Here's Garcia working on James. He slips, loses the basketball, and right into the hands of Demery. Blue Kane will fire for 3 again. Just as you said, maybe he thinks, I got to take the ball.
And when a shooter's release is good, like his first 2 right there are good, confidence goes to an ultra high level. We saw him against LSU, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists that game.
Coleman. Count it. Got bumped in the air, off the window, and he will stroll to the free throw line.
Bulldogs foul number 13, Dylan James. That is his first team foul number 2.
That's on Dylan James, his first, second on the team.
And Georgia doing a good job on the shooters outside, but Coleman, physical, strong, gets contact, finishes the play. If you're Georgia's coaching staff and bench, You're okay if Solomon Washington shoots it. You're okay if Garcia shoots it. You're pretty okay if Coleman wants to score. You just don't want guys like Wade Taylor to get going.
Boy, Coleman's last three been very impressive, averaging a double-double, and another opportunity here. Wade Taylor, deep three, too strong. Georgia trying to get this basketball, and they just can't get it. Washington, he'll fire for three. That's no good, and a foul against Asa Newell on Garcia. Wow.
So, Dave, how about the home crowd on offensive rebound? They understand what this team is about. The home crowd is on their feet when Anderson Garcia or Coleman or Washington going to get an offensive board.
That is the second foul on Asa Newell, so he'll head to the bench. Surreal also heads to the bench for Georgia.
I know they don't have wrestling in the SEC except for the University of Missouri, but it's a wrestling match out there. Guys aren't blocking out. They're chest-to-chest grabbing each other.
Taylor. Wade going baseline and threw it off Abson's leg. It'll stay with A&M with 13 on the shot clock.
Pretty good job of Abson to move his feet. Wade Taylor likes that matchup, his size against any big, because he can shake him down. Usually shakes him, pulls back for the jump shot.
Wade Taylor 0 for 2 to start this game. And there's a foul against the Dogs. Demery had a grasp.
Did I say earlier that Georgia kind of reminds you of A&M, right? They're aggressive. They do not mind physical play. They will double team in situations like this one now. You can't grab all the time. They're going to blow that whistle.
Into Payne. Hefner, who just checked in. That shot's blocked by James on the deck, and Blue Cane has it, and he lost it, and they're going to call a foul against Texas A&M. That's the first on Solomon Washington.
And look at the smile on Buzzway. This is how they play. It's a little bit ugly, right? It's not pretty yet. But when that ball's on the floor, he's got guys diving.
That was a long half-court possession for Texas A&M. Georgia finally gets their hands on the basketball, and R.J. Godfrey goes up and knocks it home.
It's the second play of the game that Dylan James has made a play from after the half-court trap. First possession of the game, he drove baseline, passed it for a layup. That time, the pass from off the side.
Taylor, he's in the scorebook with his first field goal.
Always a high level of degree of difficulty when he takes shots.
Taylor averaging 15.1 points per game. A two-time first-team All-SEC performer. Point production down from a year ago when he averaged 19 a game, which was fourth best in the league. Blue Cane, good ball fake, step back for three, and buries it.
How about the rotation? I mean, his shot is so good tonight. Confidence that when he ball faked and Hefner went by, he took a bounce in and then take a step back.
Dogs by 4. Scramble underneath Payne, and he is fouled on the way up. Free throws coming up for Payne, the transfer from Minnesota. Georgia by 4. Part of the reason this guy, Blue Cane, feeling it here in Reed Arena. You go, that could be a difference maker in terms of your team's makeup.
Well, we know how good Missouri is.
Yes.
And they were 15-0 in that building.
Yes.
And Buzz talked to us today and said, my goodness, he didn't know if anybody could go in there and beat Missouri. And they had an unbelievable game tied. And, you know, he just smiled. I mean, he smiled when he told us. He goes, hey, Ford did what he does, and Garcia made a pass that nobody else could make.
Here's Payne.
When how well did he play against Mizzou? 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 blocks.
There's the last 6 for Texas A&M, and it's been a good run. 5 of 6 victories. The only loss was at Texas, one they probably should have felt like they should have won.
Should have won at Texas, probably should have lost at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
They got very fortunate in that As Chris Beard said after that game, hey, I've been on the other side of this too, and it happens. They might want that Texas one back just because of the love affair between these two schools.
That one left a mark. Here's Kane.
Garcia now guarding Kane, one of the great defenders against a guy that's shooting lights out early this first half.
They leave Demery wide open and makes him pay.
So think of we'll call them the dynamic duo that are only sophomores. They started many games together last year as freshmen, now in their sophomore season. How good can Blue Kane and Silas Demery be in their career here at Georgia?
Almost a steal by Kane. Little pass to Payne. Garcia, a little underhand toss.
Terrific pass, but what a mix-up by Georgia. Don't take the ball fake outside. Let him throw to Solomon Washington.
Another three on the way. Silas Demery has found something.
A&M has not made Georgia uncomfortable at all. Silas just simply walked into that jump shot.
Good box out by Demery on Payne. Now Silas back the other way. Kicked out of bounds by Demery. Boy, Demery was a guy, obviously had a heck of a game. Career high 23 points, 7 assists last week, and had a chance to win the game for Georgia, driving down. In the worst case scenario, he kicked the ball right to a Mississippi State player, and the game was, for all intents and purposes, over.
His only turnover of the ball game.
You just felt for him because he carried that team in the second half.
He was spectacular. Georgia shooting 56% from the field, Dave. One of the things that hurts them is a turnover. Can't have the silly ones. They've had a couple.
Mike White said they've been doing a lot of basic drills to hold on to the basketball, and they've been better the last few games in that department.
Shooter.
Too strong off the hands of C.J. Wilcher, who just checked in.
It's almost as though if one guy shoots, the other four guys are hitting the offensive glass. I mean, they absolutely attack.
Here's Coleman flying down the lane, followed by Washington. Shane Montgomery, he's fouled. Got hit on the arm. Wilcher picks it up.
A&M looking for something on the offensive end. They've not shot the ball well. Coleman going to the bucket, but here's what they do best, right? Get it on the rim. Nobody blocking out because they had to help off the dribble. Solomon Washington, powerful, strong. You take a look at the numbers nationally, first in offensive rebounds and rebound margin.
A&M, the #1 offensive rebounding team in college basketball, averaging 16 per game. 7th in total rebounds in the country. Shane Montgomery out of Mount St. Mary's. Took him a while to get on the court. First 10 games, had to sit out, had to get his academic situation in order. Some credits didn't transfer and had to get that taken care of. And once he did, he was able to play as soon as that first semester was over. So missed the first 10 games. And great student, by the way. It had nothing to do with grades.
Had that good game against LSU that you and I did. He had 12 points in 14 minutes. So capable of putting up quick points.
Timeout taken by Buzz Williams over there. Didn't like the way things were shaping up on that possession.
They were not going to get the ball past half court in 10 seconds.
Well, because we have a timeout, gives us an opportunity to tell you that we have, you ready for this, John? We have another quadruple header. We got the old quad coming your way on Saturday right here on the SEC Network, and it all starts with this one as Chaz Lanier and number 5 Tennessee will try to get back to their winning ways, as will the Vanderbilt Commodores. Both teams suffering losses here tonight. That game coming your way from Knoxville beginning at 1 Eastern time. I'll be there for that one. You're heading down to Gainesville to check out the Florida Gators.
Are you you're the leadoff?
Yeah, I got to be good. I mean, it's going to be tough.
I'm going to bat cleanup.
Yeah, because you're a late night guy. I'm an early guy. I do the early football games, you know, and I know you're a night owl, so it all worked out.
I got that late game in Florida.
And by the way, we've been spending way too much time together. I think it's a needed break. Our Joe Lunardi projections. Boy, the SEC with 3 top-line seeds.
How about that?
And then how about 2 on the 2-seed line?
It was interesting talking to Buzz Williams about whether how many teams get in or not. He said what's going to be crazy is that there's going to be a matchup at the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Just by the numbers of how it's going to look, we're going to have teams having to play each other in the Sweet 16.
Phelps, rebound to Surreal.
Right now, Georgia is doing an exceptional job just staying in front of the ball, forcing the Aggies to take difficult shots.
Georgia has made 6 straight shots, including 4 straight from behind the arc.
Dylan James, not a great outside shooter, but very mobile. Bad pass.
Just intercepted there. Montgomery threw it right into the hands of Solomon Washington.
Yeah, silly decision.
Hefner, strong take. Had that one rejected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Aggies.
Was that Surreal that got it? Which would be surprising because he is a specimen inside.
Second in the conference in blocks. 6'11", 260-pound freshman.
Georgia is physical. They're long inside. Do not let many easy baskets around the rim.
That's the first thing Buzz said to us when you said, hey, what do you think about tonight's matchup? And he goes, oh, my gosh, they're just unbelievable in the post.
You know, and most coaches look at the backcourt because they got 4 or 5 guards that play and do a lot of minutes. Buzz's first thought was, hey, their bigs are really good.
Coleman. Little turnaround. No good, but there's the follow-up by Jace Carter.
You do everything so well defensively, and then you give up an offensive rebound, which is pretty common against A&M, but you think as a coach you can slow that down. Not many help.
Shot clock now in single digits. Demery, step back 3 on the way. No good. Rebound to Wilcher.
You could tell that one, Dave, had more of a curve spin on it.
Phelps
Good
got
defense.
himself in a bad spot, taken away by the Dogs. Oh, they had James.
Had him for a lob.
Now Montgomery baseline. Ooh, that pass almost intercepted as well. Again, shot clock goes into single digits. Here's Godfrey being bumped by Wilcher, and that won't go. Tapped around right to Carter. Ooh, big screen by Coleman. Careless turnover by Phelps, and now to get us to a timeout. Georgia Bulldogs on the road playing well to start things off. Up by 4, 6:36 to go, first half. For the NIT and hoping to make the NCAA tournament this year. Last 4 in as we speak.
You know, they added really good pieces to the young nucleus.
Yeah.
They got some bigs. They've got guards that can shoot it. They've got a terrific backcourt. Now, again, 2 of them are out tonight. We hope they get back by this weekend.
Montgomery. Cross-court pass to Kane. Catch and shoot. Got it again.
Where is it open when you swing the basketball? Aggies are a half step slow than what we would normally see there. And they're paying the price because Georgia's moving the basketball.
Obaseki off to Taylor.
And Wade Taylor has been quiet. We know he goes in spurts.
That one's blocked. Dylan James got a piece of it. Here's Montgomery. He traveled, took an extra hop step. Obaseki came out, surprised him, I think.
Yeah, silly turnovers. Let's go back. Okay, they're running a play, and you see Blue Cane in the corner because he's a shooter. What you're making a defense do is when you swing the basketball, they've got to chase a really good shooter. Great shooters can catch it and release. Rarely is a great shooter bothered by a guy coming straight on him.
Poked away. Obaseki had to take it away. Here's Blue Cane out in the open floor. His layup is good. Blue Cane coming off 9 points against Mississippi State, putting on quite the show here in the first half.
Georgia Bulldogs defense. As good as we've seen it all year, and they're on the road. Tough place to win.
Boy, Georgia is playing solid basketball on both ends right now and lead this thing by 9. Blue Cane up to 13 points, 3 threes. Georgia's had a tough go of it. I mean, it's the most top 10 opponents they have faced in a single season in program history.
And look at those numbers, though. Number 6, top ranked, 5th ranked, 4th ranked. And now they're on the road in a tough place to play against a confident team, but Georgia, the better team so far.
And a timeout taken by Georgia. Demery got caught up on that baseline.
Dave, I think A&M is a bit lackadaisical. I don't think they've been aggressive in attacking mode on the offensive end. And defensively, a half step slower than they should be. And that has affected them. Georgia's played outstanding on the offensive end, moving the ball. And the guys who are open are making shots.
Neither one of these teams exceptional shooting the basketball, but Georgia's shooting 54% from the field overall, and of course knocking home these threes. What have they done offensively to help them create some open looks?
Again, the key to A&M is when you put it on the floor, you know they're going to come at you and attack you. 2 guys, 3 guys. So if the ball goes inside of the paint, you can find guys opposite end. If it comes in on one side, you try to get it to the other side. The problem is A&M normally covers you up. I'm going to go back. I think they're a half step slow tonight. They will probably try to crank it up, but will it be too late? The half step slow has allowed a couple shooters for Georgia, especially Blue Cane and Silas Demery, to get open looks and open shots. Great execution by Mike White's team. And I think on the defensive end, what they've done, we're going to cover up the shooters is what they're saying, and we're going to allow some of the bigs to roam around for the Aggies to try to force up shots.
Georgia shooting 29% from the three-point line in SEC games, but tonight they are 6 of 11, 54%. Here's Demery with a 10-footer, and that's going to be a foul over the back foul as Absent was locked into his spot for Georgia. That foul will go on Obaseki, his first. That's just the 4th team foul against Texas A&M. Georgia with 5 team fouls. Inside, and James has that one swatted away.
Wow, what a block. Great play by Garcia to get back in the play. Blocked it from behind.
Entry pass. Payne, too strong. Tapped around. Georgia comes out of there with it. High pass out of bounds. Well, that's a second tough pass by Montgomery.
And he's got, besides the 2 passes, he's got 3 turnovers in the first half. You go on the road, you can't do it. Yes, you build a lead, but the way Georgia's shooting the ball, Dave, every time down, you just want a shot. Yeah. No matter what the shot is, quit turning it over. How about the minutes Justin Absent has given Mike White and his squad on the defensive end? 6'9", 245 junior.
Just another big body. Inside. Right, just another. Georgia's got some big boys now. Obaseki working on Kane.
And you want to invite Obaseki to shoot the jump shot. Rarely gives it up. He likes to back you down.
Carter, boy, missed everything. Boy, he's just, it's in his head now.
Yeah, it's been tough. Always been known as a scorer, just not shooting it well this season. There's
James.
a tough double team. Here's Blue Cane weak side.
He'll fire for three again. That one's off the mark. Second chance opportunity for the Dogs.
We got a tennis shoe on the floor.
Somebody lost a shoe. Who is it? Payne lost a shoe. It's a 7-0 Georgia run, and Payne's going to play without his right shoe. Taylor in traffic, bumped, and he'll go to the free throw line.
Well, Dylan James has played well by creating motion on the offensive end. Not only that, aggressive on the offensive board. The Georgia Bulldogs up 11 in College Station.
Really struggling right now. Just 7 of 26 from the field as they've watched Blue Cane and Silas Demery. We came in here thinking Georgia was down 2 backcourt players, but Cane and Demery make you forget about that.
Well, for Cane and Demery, 2 backcourt guys down mean more minutes for me.
Which is not a bad thing right now, the way they're playing.
As an athlete, Dave, you go, well, it's too bad you have to sit out over there, but more minutes for me. I get more jump shots.
Also, Texas A&M has turned it over 9 times here in the first half. They haven't scored first point in 4 minutes. They had missed 4 straight shots and had turned it over 4 times in a row.
Well, we know they won't quit, and they're at their home building. But have they dug themselves a little bit? Can they just automatically turn the switch on? Very difficult in this league. I think the guy with the basketball in his hand, Demery Jr., is a guy that's gotten so much confidence in his ability to run the offense for the Bulldogs.
Here's Absent.
Good pass.
Godfrey lowers his shoulder, kicks it to Kane. 3 on the shot clock. He needs to just get it up in the air. I don't think they're going to get the shot off.
Okay, Dave, that's still better than a throwaway turnover.
Yeah.
Had a chance, Godfrey, I thought was going to be able to take it up, but again, A&M swarmed you. Blue Cane didn't catch it cleanly enough to get the release.
Garcia.
And again, you're Georgia, you can live with Anderson Garcia trying to score on offense. And he might make one, that's okay, but it's better than if Phelps or if Taylor get going.
Here's Phelps in traffic. 2 on the shot clock. 1. Hefner gets it away. Off the mark. Blue Cane the rebound. Kane. James wide open. Won't go. Gottfried had his hands on it. Scraps for it. Keeps it alive for a moment. Godfrey said, I was trying to pass it to a teammate when you blew the whistle. Tie up gives it to Texas A&M with 2:14 to go before halftime. Hey, women's basketball takes over the SEC network every Thursday, and this week another great doubleheader, and it starts with this one. Was Tahina Paopao and number 4 South Carolina hosting freshman phenom Liv McGill in Florida beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern time.
Energy points in this first half, Dave, all on the Bulldogs side. Coming off a tough loss to Mississippi State last Saturday.
Solomon Washington can't get it to go. It's going to stay with the Aggies. 10 on the shot clock.
I've never seen a stat line, but A&M ought to have a stat line on how many guys are on the floor during an A&M game. How many bodies end up on their backside?
Long 3 by Taylor, no good, and it'll go to Georgia. Aggies now 7 of 30 from the field, 1 of 9 from behind the 3-point line.
Aggie substitution, Henry Coleman for Pharrell Payne.
So Coleman on for Payne. Aggie setting up a little token pressure against Georgia.
Like to wind the clock down. First 6 seconds, they call the second 6 gray. Right now, I think Georgia's been comfortable running their offense, have made a few too many mistakes. Unforced mistakes, but when they've kept possession, pretty good looks.
There's Godfrey. Blue Kane takes it in traffic, has it ripped out of his hands by Taylor. Then he keeps it alive. Off to Blue Kane now. His layup is good. Blue Kane with 15 in the first half. And Georgia's lead is 11.
How about the active hands getting back defensively by Georgia?
1 minute to go first half. Washington hangs in the air.
A better shot for Washington than a standalone 3 out of the corner.
That was their first field goal in 6 minutes.
Wow. At home. Keep an eye, though, Dave. Look what Georgia is getting the ball where they want to get it. Almost every possession.
It'll stay with Georgia, 8 on the shot clock.
They've not been forced out to push their offense further away.
Absent turns the corner. Got himself pinned under the backboard. Taylor flying, or Phelps flying down the floor. Dylan James getting in the way of that one. It will stay with the Aggies with 23.8 on the clock.
Dylan James takes a backseat to nobody in the athletic department. Hustling back, good block.
6, Santos Real.
We'll see what Buzz Williams does now with just under 24 seconds left. Do they just go for one, or do they take the earliest, easiest shot?
So Montgomery will check in for Silas Demery.
This is the 8th ranked team on their home court. 23 points in the first half.
Long outlet. Dylan James making Phelps work for it.
James at 6'9" has good reach. Got to stay in front of Phelps.
Hefner for 3, no good. Follow by Coleman, and a foul against Coleman on the offensive rebound. That'll be his first.
Probably an easy one for the officials to call because of where that ball bounded off to. Look at Coleman. There's the push because of where the ball came to. Just a natural whistle because his hands automatically on the backside of the defender.
Crowd doesn't like it, but there was clearly a push in the back.
5 seconds, you got to push and go in a hurry.
Here's Demery. Montgomery fades away, hits the side of the backboard, and that'll do it for the first half. But what a half it was for Georgia, leading the 8th-ranked team in the country on the road by 9. Silas Demery and Blue Kane put together 24 points to outscore the Aggies by themselves. Pretty good half by the Dogs. Dari, it's all yours, buddy.
Minutes in that first half. It's a good sign for the Bulldogs.
A couple of fouls for Asa put him on the bench, but you see some of the numbers. Wade Taylor just 1 of 5. Now, a nugget about Wade Taylor. Georgia did a number on him last year. They held him to 4 points on 1 of 8 from the field and 4 turnovers for the entire game. He's sitting on 4 points right now. Offensive rebounds, we expected A&M to be or have the advantage in that department. The problem is they only have 6 points off those 13 offensive rebounds.
They have had a hard time finishing because of the size and length and the strength of this Georgia Bulldog team. What a shot. Oh, it did go in.
Obaseki gets it off to Taylor. Wade, free throw line, short. Punched out to Demery, 2-on-1.
Numbers.
Blue Kane, and he is hammered by Obaseki. He got popped on Saturday against Mississippi State. Had a big old gash on the top of his forehead.
2-on-1, handled easily, and you know what? The ball didn't bounce back and forth until you try to make a play. Good job by both Silas Demery and Blue Kane.
See a little knot on the top of his head. He had a little blood coming out. Stopped the game. It was a physical game on Saturday in Athens between Mississippi State and Georgia. And another one here tonight.
And I believe when he got the knot, that was just a regular foul.
Yeah. Now there were some others.
No flagrant, no and one.
Yeah, there were some violent plays in that game.
So where you expect A&M to come out strong, they missed their first jump shot by Wade Taylor. 2 free throws by Georgia. They stretched this lead.
17 points by Kane ties his season high, 2 off his career high.
Pharrell Payne was very quiet in that first half.
Phelps. Blue Kane not buying the ball fake.
And how good is Georgia defensively? R.J. Godfrey slows him down. Blue Kane double teams and gets to the shooter. No shot, turnover.
Asa Newell being hounded. They get it around the perimeter. Here's James.
James's strength is not shooting. Sometimes you need a shooter when you swing it.
Oh, and Demery pins it. It'll go to Texas A&M.
Maybe the worst feeling as a shooter. I think you'd rather shoot a
than having to go. Then you have to be the one to go knock it out, right? That's,
I think I'd rather shoot an air ball than to.
The game would be over if I did that because we'd never get it down.
Bring out the ladder.
I'd just leave. Take my ball and go home. Oh, that one is rejected by James.
Did I mention that Dylan James takes a backseat to nobody athletically? Yeah. A quick riser off his feet. Great timing. And the eyes on the basketball.
6 blocks for the Bulldogs tonight. Here's Asa Newell. Garcia dropping that shoulder into his chest. Up and under move. Hard to stop that.
Well, pretty patient by Garcia. Not known as a great offensive player, but Asa Newell with 2 personal fouls.
Demery goes baseline, kicks it to Jane. Now Kane inside, his pass picked off. Well read there by Garcia. Obaseki. Manny trying to find a little bit of room, nothing there. Garcia spins. And a foul against Georgia. It's going to go against Godfrey. That'll be his second.
So, Dave, I'm going to say this on the offensive end. If you're a shooter like Blue Kane, when the ball swings to you, you can't wait for it to come to you. Take a step towards a pass so that you step into the shot and then shoot the ball. And the reason I say that because A&M is up their tempo already on the defensive end.
Washington at the free throw line, 79% on the year. Well, this is our Valentine's Day gymnastics doubleheader right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Number 15, Arkansas takes on number 11, Georgia. That's at 7 Eastern from Stegman Coliseum. Then number 3, Florida hosts number 12, Auburn at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville. Should be another great night of Friday night SEC gymnastics. So Coleman will check in for Obaseki as Texas A&M will go big here. Georgia leads it by 8. Their biggest lead has been 11 a couple of times. Godfrey spins on Coleman, takes it to the rack. Thought he was fouled, no whistle. Washington gets it to Taylor.
When you spin, you got to be lower with your body because you'll get pushed. If you're more upright, you're going to get your body pushed. Well, they are going after Newell inside. Great pass.
And count it, Blue Kane. Just a mismatch for him trying to stop Henry Coleman.
So A&M has come out in the second half and decided we're going to play through Anderson Garcia on the post to go after the freshman Asa Newell. That time he turned, made the pass right on the money. Coleman strong enough to take that contact and finish the play.
Coleman at the free throw line, 69% free throw shooter. Last 3 games averaging 10.7 points, 10 rebounds. Coming off a 16 rebound performance against Missouri. Only had 6 points, but 16 boards.
Yeah, spectacular. Now, a few of those happened because 2 or 3 Missouri players were blocking out Garcia.
He doesn't care.
Yep.
James inside, and that one's taken away. Georgia back to their old ways, giving it away to the opponents.
Shot clock running down too many times for Georgia. Got to get into their offense earlier, and the shooters, especially Demery and Blue Kane, going to have to look to shoot it earlier in the shot clock.
Coleman, that one's blocked by Godfrey. Number 7.
How quickly can he get off his feet?
Again, shot clock in single digits for Demery. Silas trying to find some room. Nothing there. And then a foul against the Aggies with 3 on the shot clock. Texas A&M has brought the intensity here in the second half. They cut into this 11-point Georgia lead. Games for Texas A&M. Their last 5 games have been decided by a total of 16 points.
It's quite incredible. They've had 11 one-game possessions. 11. Now they're 8-3, so there's a confidence amongst this team. Now, if I'm Georgia, I think I want to pick up the pace offensively.
Yeah, they're getting bogged down in the half court.
And now the shot clock runs down, which is a favorable element to what A&M can do when the shot clock runs down.
In SEC play, 7 of their 10 games decided by 1 possession. Eight-point Georgia lead. Here's Phelps, has some room, goes with the left hand high off the glass, and ball's on the deck, and it's going to stay with the Aggies.
There is very little fear when Henry Coleman goes after the ball for Henry Coleman. He's going to push, bump, and shove and try to get his hands on it.
Demery cuts underneath Phelps. That'll be a foul, his second.
I'm laughing because that's a foul. We can have a wrestling match.
Oh, yeah, some of the contact we've had underneath the backboard. You're right, and then that's a foul, right?
Good defense right there.
Washington. Got it to go. Solomon Washington with another three-pointer. His second of the game. He had 7 all season.
That's some kind of English. I think it hit below the rim.
Takeaway by Taylor. Up ahead to Washington. Georgia.
A&M has stepped it up a notch since the halftime. Big shot from the corner by Solo Washington. Yes, a favorable bounce on the defensive end. They have stifled the Bulldogs. The push, the finish. We've got a good one. Taylor he's not bothered by being 1 for 6 and taking the biggest shot. And what has happened in this second half is Solomon Washington stepped up his game. But on a defensive end, I think, again, Georgia's got to get more motion and more activity. If you sit on the ball and you play slowly, A&M gobbles you up.
Both teams with 11 turnovers make it 12 for Georgia. They keep it alive. Montgomery in traffic, blocked. What a rejection by Solomon Washington.
Wow.
Long 3, Taylor. No good, and a collision underneath, and Fowler discussing who the foul is against, but we know who the block was against. Actually, I think Montgomery just came a little short with it.
I think he missed the block.
Yeah.
Aggies on the number 0, Jace Carter. That is his first. Team foul number 3.
Boy, Jace Carter picks up that foul, by the way. Officials got together to discuss it.
Washington ended on the floor, so Buzz Williams and his staff thought he got knocked down, but the other official on the weak side saw it. Had Jace Carter shoving somebody. And the activity, and the reason the activity started, well, it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
And why have so much activity is because Wade Taylor pulled from deep on a hurry. Last possession, they went to a matchup 3-2 zone defense. See if they switch it back. But if you have no cutters, you don't even know if they're in a man or zone. Got to have movement.
Georgia scored just 4 points in the first 5. Now make it 6 minutes.
And good defense by Hefner, staying in front of Demery.
Hefner wide open for 3. Got it. Tied at 36. Georgia in and out for Demery. Going to go to Texas A&M. The Aggies with a chance to pick up the lead. They have not led since 7-5 at 14:48 to go in the first half.
You know, you wonder who will have answers when your best players aren't quite on their mark. Hayden Hefner off the bench. On the one end, a great defensive play. On the other end, the confidence of them to run him off a double screen to get him a shot. Hefner has not shot great this year, but good enough that when he gets in this building and he gets his feet set, still a good shooter.
Georgia's shooting percentage, which was up above 50% in the first half, is down to 36%. Coming back to the mean, Texas A&M is allowing opponents to shoot just 39% from the field all season. That's the lowest for the Aggies since Billy Gillespie was here back in 07. Oh, Hefner missed a little chippy. Montgomery. Blue Kane, he fires for 3. That's no good. Everything that was going well for Georgia in the first half, not in the second. Phelps won't go. Free throws on the way. They're going to say goaltending, count it.
Well, I thought, and was it Demery back? I thought he hit the backboard. Phelps is so good on the attack. Now watch Demery to see if he hits the backboard. Boom.
Yep, goaltending.
Might hit the ball, though. That ball might have been going up.
You
call it because he hit the ball or he hit the back?
So they're going to take another look at this. They ruled that it will be goaltending.
And the reason you call that is because then they can review it because they called it. But I at first thought he hit the backboard, which would be goaltending because he took the board. But did he get a piece of the ball as it was going up before it got to the board? That's the question.
I don't know. Maybe we can take a look and see. That doesn't, let's see, does he get it? It looks like he got a piece of that. I think that first look that we saw a moment ago.
Yeah, from up top, if you go from a different angle, okay, so let's see if is the ball going up, though? Is it coming down or going up? That's coming down.
I think that's going to be goaltending.
Yeah, I do too. Now I'm going back to see did Montgomery block it when it was going up, but it still would be.
Courtney Green, our crew chief over there, Chuck Jones, Will Howard. See, that was worth another look. I mean, that's
good. Good call.
Yeah.
Good aggressive play by Phelps. The transfer from SMU, 17 times he's been in double figures. An aggressive guy off the ball. Fun to watch play. Phelps is not a great outside shooter, but because he can make some at times, you got to guard him, and then he pounds you off the dribble. 70% free throw shooter.
Young man who spent 3 years at SMU where he was a 1,000-point scorer. Top 20 in the league in scoring as he transfers.
One of the Dallas kids, one of the Dallas guards. Played at Duncanville. Wade played at Lancaster. Manny played St. Paul second, which is up in Plano.
Pressure from the Aggies.
Even though it's semi-token pressure, it's a little more aggressive this half than the first half. Georgia's got to have an answer here.
Here's Montgomery. He's got nowhere to go. Gets it to Absent. Montgomery for three. That's short. Long rebound. Hefner had it. Hefner bumps in to Montgomery, but Montgomery wins it. Demery. Boy, Georgia just can't get in the paint.
I know Jace Carter has struggled offensively this year, but defensively, he's head and shoulders where he used to be.
Asa Newell threw it up. Nothing there. Mike White can't believe there wasn't a foul. Throws up his arms.
Tough night for Newell. He's got to be a little stronger with the ball.
Asa Newell only played 4 minutes in the first half because of foul trouble. Demery. Boy, saw Blue Kane out of the corner of his eyes. Blue, again, have to back it out.
And how quickly they got to Blue Kane on a jump shot. Made him put it on the floor. Nice pass.
Absent lost the handle, but fouled, and he'll head to the free throw line. Justin Absent, the junior transfer from App State, will head to the free throw line when we come back. Aggies by 3. I mean, we're 8.5 minutes into this one in the second half, and they haven't had a field goal.
And it's amazing the first half, how much they controlled themselves on the offensive end. Their pace, how they wanted, where they wanted shots. Second half, Texas A&M has turned it up a notch defensively, and Georgia has, I think, just become too stagnant.
Absent at the free throw line, left it short. Justin, a 63% foul shooter on the year.
He has given him great minutes tonight.
Well, they get some chicken wings with the 2 missed free throws. Do we get?
I'll be in line with him.
Yeah, okay. Here's Washington. Just elevates right over R.J. Gottfried and knocks that one home. Biggest lead of the night for Texas A&M.
It's a pretty good jump shot, 15 feet and in.
Can Georgia make a field goal? Apparently not. 0 for 10 now in the second half. Hefner coming off a couple of screens. Back to Phelps.
10 seconds.
Carter fouled on a 3 by Dylan James.
Bulldogs foul number 13.
That'll be his second.
And team foul number 5.
Shot clock running down. James.
2 shots at the line by number 0, Jace Carter.
Ill-advised foul. We know Carter has struggled shooting the basketball. It's been even worse from the free throw line.
41% at the line, but rattles that one home. Don't forget, we got some women's basketball coming your way Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time from Columbia, as the South Carolina Gamecocks will be hosting the Florida Gators. It starts at 7 o'clock. Hope you can join us right here on the SEC Network. And, of course, you can always catch it streaming live on the ESPN app. Yeah, Jace Carter, just 24% from behind the three-point line. 41% at the free throw line.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. Obviously, last year, 13 points a game. A couple of years ago, 17 points a game when he was at Illinois, Chicago.
Taken away by Phelps in the open floor, and he flushes it.
Wow.
And a foul on Godfrey.
A lazy pass, an explosive play on the other end. A simple bounce pass that you think you can make, but Phelps, who's guarding the ball, makes the steal, and then the flush after getting contact to the head. Rarely do you see the defensive guy on the ball make the steal on a bounce pass. Great read, even a better finish.
Godfrey's third foul, the 16th foul against Georgia. Phelps trying to convert the three-point opportunity. Can't do it. Rebound to Dylan James. It's a 17-0 Texas A&M run. Georgia has not scored in almost 6 minutes. And Dimry gets rejected with the basketball out of bounds. It'll go to Texas A&M.
Great block by Payne, and they blocked it right back into Dimry's lap as he's falling. Sometimes you think you have an easy layup, and this Aggie squad comes from all angles to not allow the ball to get to the rim.
Texas A&M certainly looking like the 8th-ranked team in the country right now, because they didn't in the first half.
What a tale of two halves. And this crowd is loving it. Confidence high for A&M.
Wow. Phelps with some nifty ball movement, and he will step back and knock home a three.
Woo. Hello, Mr. Phelps. Talk about his ability off the bounce. Watch this one. One down. Swing the ball. Great pass by him because he knows where his guy is. David, what a second half for A&M.
It's a 20-0 run over the last 5:55. Phelps with 8 points in the second half. Wade Taylor not been a factor offensively, just 4 points on 1 of 7 shooting. But Texas A&M, they're putting the clamps on Georgia, and now they're starting to make shots on the other end of the floor, which is not a good combination for the Dogs, who have yet to make a field goal this half. They're 0 for 11. Their last field goal made was with a minute left in the first half.
Observation, and maybe A&M because of their own older team. They seem to find guys that are going well and try to get it to them. They did it with Washington a couple times in the first half. They've done it with Hefner in the second half. When he made the shot, then they looked for him again. Now all of a sudden, Zurich gets going, and they try to find him. And that's a veteran team, more like the NBA does it than other teams do it. Georgia's got to find a way to get a bucket, get to the foul line, get something. Because this place is going crazy.
Yeah, it's loud. It's now become a factor here in the second half. Georgia has 1 timeout remaining. And there's 9:29 on the clock. I mean, it's maybe a complicated question. Maybe it's a simple question. I don't know. But how does Georgia make a shot?
It is as though the Aggies are playing with 7 defenders.
Yes. Trying to free up Blue Kane. They dump it down to Surreal. Now he's double teamed and he gets tripped on the floor. That'll be the 5th team foul. So they'll just inbound it underneath the basket.
And really, A&M invites you to make that pass because they double you so hard from the weak side. Surreal didn't really even know where the double team it came so quickly. Fortunately, there was a foul and a whistle.
Second foul on Payne. Asa Newell is scoreless in this game. 0 for 3. Newell will fire for 3, and that one's no good. Rebound to Taylor. Wade Taylor, big hop step, high off the glass, got it to go.
So 1-on-4 might not be a good play for most people. Buzz is okay. Wade's done this for a number of years here. But look at Phelps fighting Newell inside. Asa Newell with size advantage. Phelps not letting him catch the ball. This is impressive on the defensive end.
At 5, inside to Newell, and he has it knocked out of his hands, but a foul on Hefner with 2 on the shot clock.
Like I said, most coaches maybe don't like you to go 1-on-4. Wade Taylor's been doing this for 4 years, folks. Acrobatic, tough, degree of difficulty high. Buzz usually just claps, sometimes smiles, sometimes cringes. Just got to live with it because this guy's done it. One of the best ever in an Aggie uniform.
Asa Newell looking for his first point and got it at the free throw line. Asa, 75% free throw shooter on the year.
And you know how difficult it's been for him to get the ball. He had a matchup with the guard Phelps down low. They still couldn't get it to him. Finally, as the shot clock's winding down, they did get it to him. But Hefner sprints, knocks it away, makes him go earn the 2 instead of giving him a dunk.
And he gets both free throws. Georgia making a substitution. Sava Drezgic, like I said, Drezgic checking in, getting some minutes because Georgia depleted in the backcourt with a couple of injuries tonight.
And he can shoot it.
Out of Serbia, 6'4", 200-pound freshman, making just his 8th appearance.
And Mike White switching up defense, going to a zone defense. See who they match up with.
There's Phelps. Going to stay with Texas A&M. It looked like he might have been the last one to hit it, but the Aggies will take it.
Fortunate call for A&M. Active hands by your guy, Drezgic.
He's excited to be on the floor. Young man out of Serbia, played with the Serbian under-18 national team. Wade Taylor.
You know at some point it's going to happen, right?
Young man right here. Trying to get it to Newell through a bullet inside. Wade Taylor, though, making his presence felt here in the second half. His first 3 has pushed this lead out to 15 for the Aggies.
But we weren't positive about it.
Yeah.
Because that first half, they were step behind.
Well, Buzz told us today, one of the things he said Georgia was going to do, they were going to try to throw it into the paint and then kick it out. They got to make some shots.
Yeah.
First half, that's kind of what happened, but they can't get the ball in the paint.
Yeah. And the shooters are being challenged.
Yeah.
Better effort by this Aggie squad, and you know what? They're playing like the 8th ranked team in the country.
No doubt. Newell again connects on the free throw. Boy, Asa has been some sort of player for Georgia. He came in certainly highly talented, 5-star, top 15 prospect. going to be an early draft pick in the upcoming NBA draft, but I think Mike White has told us on numerous occasions the best part of him is him. He's just a great guy to be around, to coach, great teammate. And for somebody with such lofty expectations, sometimes that's not the case.
And night in, night out, he's the focal point for the opponent, and in this league, because there's so many great defensive teams. That is a challenge and a tough situation. Back to the zone defense. And you better get to Wade Taylor.
Coleman, offensive rebound. Garcia.
What a pass.
Payne finishes it off. Demery, bounce pass. Newell. Wason now. Putting some points on the board.
The first field goal of the second half for Georgia.
Almost 13 minutes. Georgia now 1 of 13. Phelps, no good. Batted around and saved by Taylor. No look to Coleman. Boy, it's all clicking now. This is a machine at work.
If you follow A&M and you follow Buzz Williams, and he talks about his players in such a great light. He talks about Andy Garcia and his ability to make passes and see the floor. This one, quickly, the reaction, we saw the pass he made against Missouri to win. This time he penetrates and kicks it. He's a point forward, high IQ. And the thing that's impressive, all of these are reactionary quick passes. No time to think. You don't have to study where things are. He just makes a play.
Coleman rattles it in. Henry with 9 points, 5 rebounds. Aggies up 14 in the rebounding department. Taken away by Coleman. Henry by himself.
Dave, that is 6'8", 250 doing that.
Slapped out of Newell's hands by who else but Coleman.
7 players on defense. I swear there's 7. They're coming from every angle. Henry Coleman, the man they call Hank. And this is, look how big, look how easy he makes that play.
And a push in the back on Coleman as Demery slides past him.
Aggies foul number 15, Henry Coleman, his second. Team foul number 8.
Averaging a double-double in the last 3, including those 16 rebounds against Missouri.
16 rebounds. And what's interesting, when you think of Texas A&M and the radio broadcast crew, Andrew Monaco does a great job, Dr. John Thornton, who played here a few years ago, but the guy that had 17 rebounds back against Baylor in the early 70s. And I brought that up to him. He said, well, I don't like to brag about it, but 17 is 17.
Right.
He's in the A&M Hall of Fame. He's been around this program for a long, long time. Always fun for us to chat with those guys when we come to
the Georgia
Texas A&M.
Scott Howard chugged out on the Georgia radio broadcast. Their broadcast crew, they're tired of seeing us. It's 3 games in a row.
Yep.
In and out. This has just really been, it's hard. If somebody asked you to describe this second half, it'd be hard. They would not, well, you could probably tell them, they wouldn't believe you.
Well, you can almost just say it was Texas A&M, because this is the team they should be, and the team that they are.
Drezgic.
Again, shooter, hasn't played, only 7 games. But because of the 2 guards out, he can catch and shoot it.
A little bit short for Drezgic. Going baseline, nice pass to Godfrey, and he can't get it to go. He's surrounded by 4 white jerseys. Savo's made 4 shots this year, and they've all been 3-pointers.
Again, the minutes are becoming. Dakota LeFew hurt his ankle last night, is not playing. The guy that averages almost 11 points a game. Tyron Lawrence got hurt in the last ball game against Mississippi State early in that game.
Mason Newell, way too strong. Easy catch over there for Wade Taylor. 5 minutes to play in a 17-point Texas A&M lead. They trailed by as many as 11 late in the first half.
And now it's where the veterans take over. How to run clock, how to get shots, who to get shots for. Clear the lane out, let Washington in his strength and his body go at the thinner, younger Newell.
Godfrey intercepted.
They double team and they swarm you. You think the weak side's open, but you got to have an eye, see where you can find the opening.
14 Bulldog turnovers.
Key against his own defense. Anderson Garcia in the middle of it. If he touches it, you're going to get a good shot.
How's that? Is that a good shot at the rim?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
He's as good as anybody against the zone defense in that position.
And a foul on Hefner. Impacts the game in so many different ways.
He does it. Sometimes you see it coming, and when the zone happens and he steps up there, we knew it's going to be something easy. 6 assists on the night for Garcia. They get after each other.
See, the last time the 1 and 2s matched up was 2021 Gonzaga and UCLA. Well, it's all going down in Tuscaloosa. Demery connects on the free throw. Second half, Georgia at the free throw line, 11 out of 14. They are 1 out of 16 from the field. Hefner way too strong. James with the rebound. I'm trying to just think back. 1 of 16 to start a half. Can't say that I've ever seen that one before.
No, I've not seen it.
Now the second field goal.
Demery's only 4 of 13 from the field. Now he was 3 of 8 in the first half, hit a couple threes. Frustrating second half for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Washington won't go. Tapped back by Coleman, and another opportunity here for the Aggies. It'll stay with Texas A&M with 4.8 on the shot clock, and Texas A&M with another home game after this one. They will get to host Arkansas on Saturday, an early start, 11 a.m. But the news there is it's back-to-back home games for Buzz Williams and this Aggie basketball team. After the last time they had back-to-back home games, you got to go middle of November.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy to think like that. But this is what's in store for them. Next Tuesday, they'll get another top 25 test. Mississippi State coming in, and then Tennessee, Vandy, Florida. I mean, they're all it's crazy. I mean,
there's nothing easy about any of this.
Meanwhile, Georgia, they've got another tough slate coming up as well for the Bulldogs. They're trying to get some confidence, and you've got Missouri, Auburn, Florida. Then you're at Texas and at South Carolina.
And when you're on that bubble, this will knock them to 4-8 in the SEC. How many wins do you have to have in the SEC to get in the tournament? Do you have to get to 7, 6, 7? 6 would be a hard number to think you still get in.
Yeah.
So you start looking at your schedule. Where do you? There's nothing easy. But I will say this: Georgia has been very good on their home court.
13-2 on the year at Stegman Coliseum. Jace Carter, 2 on the shot clock. Step back 3. Dresgic is fouled.
Not a smart foul.
Aggies foul number 15, Henry Cole.
You're A&M, you want the clock to run. Don't need to pick up a foul that's 75 feet from the hoop.
Dresgic at the free throw line, 10 out of 15 this year. 66%. Dresgic, a young man who reclassified, was supposed to be in the 2025 class, but wanted to get to Georgia early and shows up. Georgia glad to have him. They think he's got a bright future. Just a young guy still trying to figure it out. Dresgic won a silver medal with the Serbian under-18 national team at the FIBA World Championships.
A good, strong body, good shooter.
Dresgic. See, I need to roll the R's. Wade Taylor just taking this clock down. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Carter spins into a double team. Back to Phelps. 4 on the shot clock. Gets it off and gets it to go down.
I don't know how that went in. Everything was wrong about the whole play. Woo. But James still got to make it.
A little anger behind that one.
Yeah, frustrating second half for Georgia. Whew. They were so good in the first half. But there's a separation of a team that's number 8 in the country when they turn it up a notch, and they did.
Here's Carter, kicks it out to Taylor. He's wide open for 3, and you know what he's going to do with it when he's that wide open.
You know, Dave, sometimes you buy a ticket to the show and you go, okay, when does the show start? And they go, ah, here it is. At some point, the final act comes on, and Wade Taylor.
Taylor now up to 12 points, a couple of 3-pointers. And Dimry knocks home that 3. That's his 4th of the game. And another big offensive night for Dimry. He's at 19.
And you and I have seen the last couple ball games, the way his outside shot has come and been able to make shots.
Under a minute to go. On the shot clock. Phelps. They're going to say shot clock violation and give it to Georgia with 33 seconds to go. Well, the Bulldogs are going to fall to 16-9, 4-8 in league play. They will drop back-to-back games in a frustrating night, and that's a tough ask on a short turnaround without 2 of your backcourt players. It gets you a lot of minutes. LeFew and Lawrence out for Georgia. Meanwhile, Texas A&M will win their 4th straight game and 6 of their last 7. Tapped around a couple of times, and it'll stay with Georgia. Texas A&M, again, they don't have a great shooting percentage, but they're closing in on 70 points. Defensively, they have just held Georgia to 19% shooting in the second half. 4 of 21, 10% from behind the arc for the Bulldogs.
And you're always interested about either what was said at halftime from coaches or what was said amongst players. When you have a veteran team, sometimes players kind of take pride in the first half wasn't a good enough show or an effort for their home crowd, especially they're back home after the big win against Missouri. But the Aggies did what A&M should do in the second half when you're a top 10 team. Absolutely locked down this Georgia squad. Got better looks on the offensive end. Dominated the boards. Dominated defensively.
The Aggies turned it up, and they put another win in the win column. They get 17 points from Solomon Washington and 5 rebounds. They out-rebound Georgia by 13. It's their 3rd straight home win, the first time they've won 3 straight in Reed Arena since the 2022-23 season. And they certainly played at least 20 minutes like the number 8 team in the country.
You know, you got to make a statement when you're number 8, and I think they did. Took a while, but they did, and they move on. Another home game on Saturday. Powerful conference. It doesn't get easier, but great win for the Aggie team.
Georgia led by 19 from Demery, 17 from Kane, but certainly not enough on this night. Texas A&M wins at 69-53. For John Sunvold, the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Neal saying so long. Let's get you to